G'day everyone, welcome back to the Perkins Engineering YouTube channel. We're going to get stuck straight into this episode. We've got a lot of stuff here on the table of PE 013 Peter Brock's 1991 Bathurst VN Holden Commodore, which was built by Perkins Engineering. I want to just give you a bit of an update on what I've got here in front of me as a bit of a progress report, I guess, on the whole restoration. So without further ado, let's get stuck straight into it. So over here, we've got everything back from zinc plating. So big thanks to John Heckrath of Heckrath Engineering for helping us out here. So Hecky was involved in the team in 1991. He was actually involved with Brock previous to that in 89-90 and also at Advantage after 91, Advantage Racing, and with Perkins Engineering in 1991. So I reached out to him for some information on the car, and we've been able to utilize some of his business to do some of the stuff on the car, which has been fantastic. So they got hydro blast in there, so we've been able to blast all our parts, re-zinc plate and paint some bits and pieces, and even hydro blasted our Harrop diff center and whatnot. So Hecky and the crew down there have been fantastic. So zinc plating was something we would commonly use at Perkins Engineering. For those that followed our VP restorations, you would have seen we did quite a lot of that. It's just a way of keeping metal sort of fabricated componentry in good condition, no surface rust, and it's not painting, so it doesn't chip off, flake off, and wear and tear. So I'll try and get the camera a bit closer and run you through some of these bits that we've had done. Okay, so rear anti-roll bar blades. We detailed these up on the bench with some wet and dry and blocks and bits and pieces. Everything we try and detail up, surface everything and get it ready. And then Hecky and the crew were able to hydro blast everything in great preparation. So these anti-roll bar blades on the rear, we actually may need to refer to a different spec. These have been bent to change for the drop links on the later cars, and I think we'll need to have a straight bar, but let's not get that in the way of what we're up to here. All of our fuel fittings, our Holly Blue conversions that we do, everything here's been done in gold zinc. Our pedal system parts here, which we ran through in a previous episode. Our front anti-roll bar blades look absolutely Mickey Mouse. Our rear shock absorber mounts, our turnbuckles for our steering arms, some panhard rod or diff arm ferrules, some steering spaces, some bits and pieces. So everything that was zinc originally, we just got it re-zinced. Our clutch pedal pivot assembly, throttle stop mount, and the throttle stop. And then our pedals, when we pulled them out of the car, were actually in gold zinc. But we found a YouTube video of Brock at Bathurst in 91, and I'll show you a couple of screenshots as I'm talking, and the brake pedal and the clutch pedal appear to be in black. So instead of re-zinking them, we've gone for black approach, and Hecky and the guys were able to bake them and paint them for us as they would have been done in 1991. Now, moving along the table, our Bilstein shocks have been sent up to Sydney Shocks, who are the Bilstein agents, if you like. They serviced our shocks, the front shocks in our VPs, and they were the first people we spoke to do our front and rear shocks out of our 91 car. So they had a few little bits and pieces were wrong with them. Some bump rubbers perished and spherical joints needed replacing, but they're now matched, ready to rock and ready to fit back into the car. So obviously these are the front shockers, they'll go back into the struts, and then our rear shockers, they've got a little threaded sleeve that sits over here for the top spring seat, but they're basically ready to fit, and we're pretty confident, having spoken to a couple of Perkins staff members, that they're the rear shocks that would have been in the car in 1991. Our rear calipers, the rear Harrops, you would have seen these were painted in that really awesome red colour. The paint's come off them now, and they are almost brand new. They aren't the correct spec for 91, but we're going to service these anyway, and we're going to try and find the real ones, and if we can't get them, these, worst case will end up on a car, but worst case they'll be serviced. So that'll be, watch this space on these. And here's our tail shaft. So for those that followed our VP builds quite closely, we had to do new tail shafts for the VPs. A 93 one because it was a Chev going back to a Holden. So different tail shaft lengths. So we've got this really good drawing that shows all of our different tail shaft lengths. So that includes the BMW, which was a car in Perth that had a Holden Perkins engine, Falcon 6-speed, Chevy 6-speed, Holden 5-speed, Chevy 6-speed, Holden 6-speed, the VT Commodore 6-speed, and then some different lengths for product cars, BMWs again, standard Hollinger 5-speeds and bits and pieces. So basically this tail shaft is very, very original. It's got Perkins numbers on it, some stampings. You can see Perkins numbers there. And again here, the date from when it was back at PE 94084, supposed to be tail shaft 84. And so this is the flange, drive flange for the gearbox, which was period correct for 1991. And then the diff yoke will be the 1350 UJ. So the tail shaft is going to get crack tested and then shortened. So because it had a 5-speed gearbox in it, funnily enough, the car, we sold it to Phil Ward with a 5-speed, and you can see our original markings back to front Chev 5-speed new. So both lengths of the tail shaft need to be shortened. Obviously a 6-speed gearbox is a slightly longer unit, and then the CV joint mounts to the front shaft, which then pushes the main bearing, the centre bearing, if you like, a little bit further back in the car. So the rear one needs to get shortened 5mm and the front one gets shortened 24mm. So yeah, we've got a great tail shaft drawing there to reference against, like all Perkins parts. We've got the drawings for everything. So we're looking forward to getting these bits and pieces back in the car as we rebuild it. All right, well, yeah, that was good to quickly cover off what we've been up to on a few bits and pieces on the car. I've touched on the gearbox there. I thought I'd just quickly bring it into shot because I'm not sure if I actually referenced this earlier in the strip down, but I wasn't expecting the car to have a 5-speed gearbox in it. When I pulled it all off, I thought, Christ, that's a bit lighter than I remember a 6-speed being. And upon further investigation, it was sold to Phil Ward with a 5-speed. I confirmed with Phil, I confirmed with Damien White, who drove it with Rod Salmon, and the reference was 5-speed for 5 nuts on the wheels. So these casings sort of all look similar. It's quite a lot shorter at the back here, and we misjudged that. So we've ordered a gearbox off Hollinger's, a 6-speed, to replace it. And then this is an original Perkins gearbox. Let's read the date on it. 08-89-014. So 1989, the 14th GRA5. So this would be one of the original Perkins 5-speed gearboxes in a VL Walkinshaw. So we had Hollinger's service this for us. Here's the box of crap we had to replace. All dog rings, some gears, and the input shaft. That shouldn't be blue. So the alignment of that in the engine has just, or the clutch or something has been chewing that out, and yeah, the input shaft was shagged. And so brand new input shaft. We spent a fair bit of dough getting this ready, and this will most likely end up for sale. So yeah, looking forward to finding a new home for this. And that's sort of where we're up to. So we've got a lot going on. Chassis getting fabricated, engine's getting done. Looking forward to doing some stuff on the engine. That's going to be pretty exciting. I think you're all going to be very excited by what we're up to in engine land. And we're going to keep pumping out some videos when we can. So thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe to the channel, Perkins Engineering. Jump on our website, perkinsengineering.com.au. We've got hats, merchandise, parts popping up left, right and centre off this car, and stuff we're finding around the workshop that we no longer need. So thanks everyone for supporting this project and our what we're up to in restoration land. It means a lot. We read all the comments. We try and write back to as many as we can. Any questions, shoot them through. Cheers. Thanks for watching.